they thought that they should be able to do that for a year and a half.
That's fine, but I just like, my voice that repair. It's a problem to begin with.
Yeah, I think being able to repair it's a good thing. We don't want a shaggy old sign up there, but
Sure.
I like the how it turned out. No money out
Yeah,
of pocket.
very
Yeah,
happy.
no money, that's good.
Didn't cost us anything.
Yeah.
Looks like a nice compromise too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm going to just say that I'm pretty much appalled that that a company like Lamar, large billboard company that knew better, came in under the cover of darkness basically over a weekend without a building permit, without engineering, and put up a billboard illegally against the city code, and that they have been collecting revenue on it for almost 2 years now and will continue to collect revenue the next year, year and a half. Again, all against our city ordinances. I think it's just a terrible thing that they did it, they knew better, and there's no penalty for them. As a matter of fact, they've made money on the deal, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 to $40,000. Anyone else would not be allowed to do that, I don't believe. And I am appalled at it. It would be like somebody constructing a house without a permit and without engineering. But these guys knew better. Or like a contractor coming in without a license and building something. Now, I'm not going to vote on it tonight because someone may construe, because the fact that I have a billboard in the city, that it may be a conflict of interest. So I will not be voting on it, but that is my opinion.
Okay, Mr. Lawrence is recusing himself from the vote. We have a motion or any further discussion?
I make a motion to approve the settlement as agreed as presented, the agreement as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Comments from the audience on this topic? Comments from the audience? Kathy, call a roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Abstain.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Item 10A, Project 65, attached is a special event application for Project 65. Veterans First is organizing and promoting Project 65. It is a benefit concert to raise awareness of the veteran and first responder suicide. Veterans First is asking for a little bit of a laundry list of things here that are open for discussion.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Annette with Veterans First. Last year, this is our second annual event. Last year we had it on the circle, and it was to bring awareness for veteran suicide. And this year we are incorporating first responders, law enforcement officers, and EMT. And what we're asking is for the city to waive fees for the police department, the fire department, the stage, public works for the most part.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been
Thank you very
approved.
much.
Item 10C, Sebring Art, Wine, and Jazz Festival. Janelle Martin?
What will it be?
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah.
The Sebring Craft.
Yeah, the beer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Janelle, you'll have to wait your turn. It's my fault. Somehow or another, that wasn't, I must have set it off to the side. Okay, Sebring Craft Beer Festival. That sounds almost as much fun. Kelly Dressel, please, ma'am.
Yes, this is our annual fundraiser for the Children's Museum. It is billed now as the Sebring Craft Beer Festival. It used to be called Another Round on the Circle. We have started to modify it due to size of crowd and also to put the Sebring stamp on it because nobody could find us at Another Round on the Circle. So we've added Sebring in there, so that's driving more traffic to it. We are asking for a few things, open container waiver, variants, and then also some parking blockage and stuff at the Civic Center.
Any questions? Comments?
How is the museum coming?
We are open. Just under a month
I know
now.
I know you opened, but is it your?
We are slammed. Now, school started back last week, and so we always see a dip in, our attendance that way, but we were really happy with our attendance last week, even with school back in session. This morning, we had a huge group from Arcadia, actually a homeschool group that came over, and there was 23 of them that came over and did a homeschool recess is what they called it, and they spent the day with us, so. We are
Right.
drawing some outside people in and lots of inside people in. We had 164 in the building all day on Saturday. That's a good number for
And
us.
it looks excellent.
Thank
Y'all-
you.
If y'all haven't seen it, you need to go
Yes.
see what Kelly and her family did.
I will do a tour, anybody,
Very,
just come
very
on.
nice job.
Thank you. But this is one of our annual fundraisers. It's our 7th year. We are moving it from the Circle to the Civic Center. That is something new, just to note. That's going to help allow us to get a little bigger and also control the crowd.
Make a motion we approve the event as presented, conditioned upon providing appropriate liability insurance certificate showing at least $1 million in coverage, naming the city as additional insurer 10 days prior to the event, and waiving the fees.
Okay, I have a motion. Here a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Kelly, and you do understand that you do have to provide liability insurance certificate, correct?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I think that we have a motion, we have a second. We have any comments from the audience, please? Okay. Kathy, call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lorenz.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yep.
Detman.
Yes. Janelle, you may please
Thank you, sir.
approach the bench. That's from my court days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Approach the bench.
Right?
Yeah.
My turn.
Yes.
I'm Janelle Marmon. I'm the Executive Director of the Highlands Art League, and I'm coming before you to ask some things of the Art, Jazz, and Wine Festival. We're asking for a variance for the city fees. We're asking for some parking. We'll be doing a road closure at 6 o'clock on Friday night to do the setup around the circle, and then we'll open again at 7 o'clock on Saturday. It'll only be a one-day festival this year on the 2nd of November. We did a survey last year, and it seemed that that was the preference of the people who were involved in the event, who were the vendors. So we have cut it back down, and we didn't really see a difference in our numbers. So, so we're doing that, and so we're looking for the waivers and variance. Is basically what we're looking at.
Thank you. And you two also understand that the requirement for the $1 million insurance policy,
Already taken
correct?
care of.
Okay. Any discussion? Comments from the audience? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion. Is that all right?
Yeah, I was gonna pass the gavel there for a second.
We approve as presented, condition upon the Highlands Art League providing a certificate of insurance showing a $1 million liability insurance coverage for the event with the city named as additional insured.
Second.
Okay, we
That
have a
include
motion.
waiver of fees?
And we have a second.
Yeah, waiver of fees.
He didn't
The
say
waiver of
waiver of
the fees.
fees.
And a waiver of the fees.
All right, there we go.
Just making sure.
And a second with Mr. Ivy. Kathy, call a roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lorenz.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Item 10D, this is a public
Thank you.
hearing. I'd like to open this public hearing, proposed resolution 20-19, increasing the non-ad valorem assessment for residential solid waste services. Mr. Swain, would you read the purpose of the hearing?
Yes, sir. City Council is considering a resolution that would increase the non-ad valorem assessment for residential solid waste services $1 per month or $12 a year, which would increase the individual customer tax bill from $153 per year to $165 a year. The purpose of the hearing is to receive citizen input on it, and to it would also seek to increase the maximum potential assessment to $190 per year. So with that, would take public comment.
Okay. Any comments from the public? Anybody like to talk about this issue? $1 per month increase. Gentlemen, would you like to comment or make a motion?
But we don't need a motion.
No motion. Sounds like we already got a motion and we
No,
got
no
a
motion.
It's
This is
public
a-
hearing. Oh, that's right, it's public hearing,
Yeah.
correct, thank you. I appreciate that. No motion is marked.
Close the meeting.
Okay, thank you. The public hearing is closed. We'll go into item 10E, which is Resolution 2019-19, increasing the non-valorem assessment for the residential solid waste services that we just finished discussing. Now we can approve,
I make a motion that we
again.
approve resolution 2019-19.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Comments from the audience? Kathy, call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Okay, another public hearing. Is everybody ready? We're opening this one too. I'll go ahead and turn this one also over to Mr. Swain.
The purpose of the hearing is to receive citizen input on the city's proposed acquisition of the Lakeview Mobile Village wastewater customer base and territory. You will see in your agenda packet, Exhibit 2 reflects the interconnection cost of $152,983 as the low bid that you'll consider later this evening. That's the city's expense to interconnect the systems, take down the wastewater treatment plant, clean up and fill the perk ponds and sod that area.
Okay, to answer any of your questions out there, we have Mr. Bogus, who is our Public Utilities Director, and his liaison, who sits to my right, Mr. Carlisle. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Mr. Bogus, what would you like to present for us?
Well, just following up with what Mr. Swain has already said, what the agreement did is it obligates to upgrade the lift station, new pumps, new panels, that sort of thing. It also obligates us to install a 3-inch force main to connect the lift station with our system, demolish the wastewater treatment plant, and fill in the existing percolation ponds up to grade, and then we'll sod it. And then they requested a new fencing around the new the lift station that we'll be upgrading. So that pretty much, the one thing I will mention though is that does not obligate the city to maintain or to do anything with their collection system. That is still theirs to maintain. We just take the effluent and treat it. We also agreed to let them retain the property that the treatment plant and perk ponds are sitting. So they'll retain ownership of that.
Questions of Mr. Bogus?
Do you have any idea what our payback is, how long it's gonna take for us to recover our expenses?
Charlie, it's just a cash flow type of comparison, but it's about 9 years, if I remember correctly.
Question. How are we doing on capacity for our treatment plant?
We're in good shape.
Good shape.
Kurt, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, hearing no input from the audience, any other discussion? Otherwise, we'll close this public hearing. Any other comments from the audience? This public hearing is closed. We'll go directly to item 10G, which is a resolution of this topic concerning the acquisition of Lakewood Mobile Village customer base and territory. Open for discussion.
So the resolution finds that it is in the public interest for the city to acquire the territory as proposed. And so if you wish to move forward with it, you would vote in favor of this resolution.
Gentlemen, discussion?
I make a motion that we approve resolution 2019-20.
Sounds like we have a motion
And a second.
and a second with Mr. Stewart. Any further comments from the audience? Kathy, call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Item 10H. Mr. Swain, again, it's a public hearing. I will open that as regarding the acquisition of Highlands Mobile Village Sewer Collection System.
This time I know Mr. Bogus is sitting on the other side of the lectern, so I'll let
So
him.
why don't we let him go ahead and lead the charge? You've already earned your money tonight.
Bob, are you gonna explain the purpose?
I work
of
a lot
the-
cheaper too.
He will?
You do, you're a salaried employee, we appreciate that too. To all of our city department heads that are out here without compensation, by the way, I might add. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
There are some corrections that I apologize for this, but this particular, Highlands Mobile Village does not, gonna not require a lift station to make this connection. So there's some line items, the first two line items would be taken out of there. What we will be doing is constructing a 4-inch gravity line that will connect the existing manhole that everything runs into with our system. We'll also demolish the wastewater treatment plant, fill in the percolation ponds, fill it up to grade, and then sod it. Like the other park, we're not obligated to maintain any of the collection systems within the park. They will also retain ownership of the property that the treatment plant and perk ponds are on.
Thank you, Mr. Bogus.
All right, sir.
Any questions, Mr. Bogus?
I'm gonna ask again, any idea on the payback?
It's about the same, Charlie. We're almost the same number of customers. They vary, I think, 2 or 3 per park. Typically a very seasonal park. Revenues are not that great during the summer months, but do pick up during the winter months. And calculations were based pretty much without any kind of rate increase. So the rates do go up. The payback will be a little better, but judging by what the rates were before this even last rate increase took place, it was about 9 years, I believe, for both of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
These are the same numbers you submitted to us last year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, any other comments? Mr. Swain?
Just to let the public know, the purpose of the public hearing is to receive any questions or comments that you may have with regard to the proposed transaction.
Comments from the public? I'd like the public to know that anytime the city approaches such a topic as this, and you have for the last 2 agenda items, a considerable amount of work and background goes into this, and I want to thank Mr. Bogus and his staff for their thoroughness in this particular regard.
I think Mr.
Question.
Ivy has it.
Do we have to amend anything based on the work that you're not going to have to do, that correction you made?
No, sir. This was done by Kim. She just didn't understand it. And I frankly, when I looked at it, I read right over that. Didn't even notice that we had.
Well, I just want to make sure it didn't change any of the.
No, sir. We're not obligated to do anything other than what I just spoke of.
That's great. Thanks.
All right, sir.
Okay, any other comments? We'll close the public hearing and go right into the next agenda item, which is the resolution 2019-21 concerning the acquisition of the Highlands Mobile Home customer base and territory. Once again, Mr. Swain.
Yes, sir. Thank you. The resolution finds the acquisition to be in the best interest of the city of Sebring, and that if you wish to move forward with it, you vote in favor of the resolution.
Gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
Make a motion that we approve resolution 2019-21 as presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments from the audience? Hearing none. Kathy, please call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Denton.
Yes. Item 10J, Boys and Girls Club. Mr. Cornett, please. Brought your backup unit with you, huh? The big guy.
I'm the little one behind. Appreciate you guys having us up once again. We just, hot off the press here, got our reports from our national office this morning, and we're exceptionally pleased to bring you the following information that we're at our capacity of 300 between the City of Sebring and the City of Avon Parks clubs. We're at our capacity of 300 students being served with an average daily attendance between those two of 234 students. We're really excited about some of the information that we got from our home office here. They do chart some of these students and follow them, and it's basically, we were told today that 80% of our students are applying and moving on to college. 93% of them are completing high school. So we're exceptionally proud of that data here. We have a long history of working with the City of Sebring as well as the City of Avon Park. Historically, you guys, as I reminded you last time I was up here, invited us to become a club here in 1996, and since then we've been working together. Historically, we had been given $50,000. Last year, we were given $30,000 with a challenge to come up with an additional $20,000 to hit that, and we were pleased to be able to do so. For your upcoming budget, we simply consider or ask that you consider to stick with us on the same pace that you had been, $30,000 and the opportunity to match another $20,000 and continue with us with the maintaining of mowing the grass. And that would be our request for this year's upcoming budget.
I have a question according to the paperwork here, and you just said mowing the grass, but are you also asking for that us to share in the utilities as well?
Yes, I apologize. Half the utilities as well as the same as we had been doing before. My apologies.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody understand that? There were 3 items there that he was asking for. Okay, how about some discussion on this?
I was under the impression last year that the 20,000 was a one-time thing. We've always given them 30, and I was under the impression that last year we was gonna do it, that 20 was gonna be a one-time thing, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, you haven't spent all the money we gave you last year.
We absolutely have spent the money we got. We were just waiting for it to come to us. We had to jump through a number of hurdles in order to get it. And Dave, can you speak on those specifics?
Well, Mr. Carlisle, years ago, we had asked for and been approved for 50. It came down to 30, and we tried to bring it back up, which the council was we were very happy they did last year. We're hoping to get to that level again, where our students we get more students every year. We try to get more students, and our numbers keep rising. It's just ironic that they came in today. The figures came in. I had some old figures, and I was lucky enough to get these.
Specifically addressing the additional 20,000, have we spent all of that money?
We have.
It's just a matter of us going through the paperwork in order to get that and providing all the proper documentation.
I'm working with Penny on that myself.
Just to verify that, I'd like to ask our finance director if she can recall that. I know back in the day of austerity, we were trying to hold back on some of the funding. Did we go from 50 back to 30, and now we're on the back upward tick?
It actually went down to 25, and then we increased it by an additional 5 so they could service additional children. And so the past few years, it's been at the $30,000 level.
Okay, so was it just this past current year that they asked for the 30 plus the additional 20, and then our challenge to them was if they can match it dollar for dollar, we would do it?
With local funds, yes, sir.
Okay.
But just for clarification, it was 50 at one time, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, it was.
Many years ago.
Many years ago. I want to say before 2006 or 7. Whenever the bottom fell out of the economy, and then we kind of had to scale back. That was my recollection. Can maybe Scott or Kathy, are we in the ballpark there? Okay. We're at least in the same ballpark.
Sure.
I did have a question
Yes,
on
sir.
the numbers that you said. 80% are going to college, 93% to are graduating high school. Is that our local people here, or is that Boys and Girls
Highlands
Club
County.
throughout
That's specific
That
to
is
our club.
Highlands County.
Yes, sir.
So that's not the
That's
state?
correct.
or-
That's specific to we got our conference call with the home office this morning, and that's the numbers that they're reporting to us.
Well, I want to just say I think that that's great, because I know our graduation rates around here are not that high on an across-the-board basis, and so bringing that up to 93% is great. I think our normal high school graduation rate is.
I wish I could provide a
Much lower.
specific Highlands County number for this stat that we're very proud of with Boys and Girls Club, but we're told that nationwide less likely to become
Any other discussion on that?
I have one more question, I
Yes, sir.
guess, and that's in regards to the women's club over there.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys still interested in pursuing that to possibly expand?
Yes, sir, very interested. We're just kind of waiting to hear from the council as to when we're able to proceed with that.
Okay.
And we are likely able to do some, we've got some indications from some outside donors that are indicating a willingness to support some of the potential upgrades that will be necessary to the facility. So hoping to be able to utilize that as well.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
have a presentation prepared for you guys when we're asked to come give that, and I think you'll be very pleased with what we've put together.
Okay, all right. Well, I'd like to make a motion that, that we approve the 30,000 and the 20,000 additional, assuming that you can match that 20,000, and also the, our share of the utilities as you've requested.
And what was the last part, Charlie?
And our share of the utilities as they've requested.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion?
Sure.
Among services.
Further discussion? Okay, we have a motion. We'll entertain a second on that. Entertain a second to the motion to accept as presented. Okay, I'll pass the gavel on that. Kathy, I'll second that motion.
All roll, Kathy.
Wait a minute. You have some discussion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, some further discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate what's happening with these guys, and I think it's a good thing. But I do have a concern about our finances. We had some very alarming news most recently in regards to where we are financially, and we're in a place that we need to cut, tighten the belt.
Sure.
In a big way. And to be frank with you, it feels like it may get worse next year. I mean,
Sure.
that's what the headlines are saying right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I would maybe think about, instead of 20, giving them 10. The 30 and then 10, assuming they're going to
Sure.
be reciprocal in raising $10,000 on your own.
We'll stick to the, if you do 10, we'll match it with an additional 20. We'd be glad to do that.
That's my suggestion anyhow.
Okay, Charlie, you actually had the motion, if I'm not mistaken. Would you like to amend your motion to echo what Mr. Stewart has just presented?
Well, in view
Or
of the
would you
second,
like your
then-
motion, see if your motion's going to stand, and then
well, let's go ahead with the motion in a second and see how we go on that, and we can always do another motion.
okay. Any comments from the audience, please? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward and state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is.
No, please come to so we can hear. We want to get you on tape. And all the nice folks out there on TV land want to see your beautiful face. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Winifred McGee. I'm new to the city, and I am a member of the Women's Club. I have one question. When I read that the Boys and Girls Club are willing to hold classes, is it, over at the Women's Club, I was just concerned. I thought that most of the kids come from the Washington Heights area, and I know that that's a trek from that area over to the where the Women's Club, where that building is, and so I'm concerned a little bit of how they're going to get from that area.
5 buses that go there every day.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just concerned, because I know most of the kids who attend the club from my church, they walk.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Stewart,
No.
Detman.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so it sounds like that was defeated on a 3-2 vote. We did have some additional discussion. Is it proper, Mr. Swain, for us to entertain another motion and then
Yes,
go
sir.
forward? Okay, Mr. Stewart, would you like to make that an official motion?
Sure. I make a motion that we fund them for the 30,000 with an additional 10, assuming that they will raise funds and match that, at least match that, and continue the mowing at half of the electric.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have any more conversation about that? Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any more comments from the audience? From the dais? Kathy, call the roll.
Cordell.
No.
Ivy.
No.
Lawrence,
Yes.
Stewart,
Section 2-418, Scope of Authority of Division 2 Code Enforcement of Article 6, Boards and Commissions of Chapter 2 Administration, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Very good. Anyone here like to discuss this topic?
I have a question.
Sir?
Will this impact the number of car washes we have at these filling stations?
It will, but not because of the states necessarily. What the state is doing is greatly encouraging the local governments to enforce the state rules. And so the state rules actually prohibit the car washes as they are set up without having the specific state permit for it. So they just want the city to be the heavy.
Oh, nice. Can we send them a thank you note? Department of Environmental
They may come to the wrong city.
Which part of our city is going to enforce this? Is this the,
Under your ordinance, your building official, code enforcement department, and your Ken Fields, public works director, can all enforce.
any one of those three? And
Fire chief. Fire chief also.
And fire chief.
Calling all
You guys
cars.
can go ahead and try it amongst yourself, or wants to go tell them that they can't do that anymore.
Send the fire chief.
But
He likes
somebody's
to-
going to have to do it. So draw straws, whatever you want to do.
That's the ones in the city limits that we.
Better be careful, it can be his designee also. So.
Or his designee. Well,
So
so
can't-
up to Mr. Nately. to go
I
ahead
know.
and-
Ken said he was sending the new guy, which I believe would be Greg.
We'll leave that- We'll let our city administrator assign who he wants to go ahead and make sure it's done.
That was pretty good, Kathy.
Okay.
Well, because the state has given us a gentle nudge, I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance 1444, second and final reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion and we've got a second. Comments from the audience? Any car wash operators out there? All right, Captain, call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Bettman.
Yes. 13A, Mr. Nately, the Lakeview Drive project, please.
Good evening, Council. As each of you are probably aware, we have continuing service agreements with several engineers. But due to the cost, or estimated cost of this project, which staff believes may exceed $2 million, we are requesting that you all go out to a request for qualifications, as those continuing service agreements only cover projects up to a $2 million number. So we would like you to appoint a committee composed of Leonard Carlisle, Mayor Shoup, myself, Bob Bogus, and Ken Fields to put this RFQ out and ultimately rank the engineering firms for the project.
Okay.
Sounds like the wise thing to do.
Any further discussion on Mr. Nately's presentation?
Just have one question. Any idea what you think it might cost? I know that's
I didn't hear the
big
question.
open-ended
That's
question.
an open-ended question. I don't think we know what kind of number it's going to be yet. By the time we address the road, the sewer infrastructure, and the stormwater issues, we just feel it's going to be over $2 million, but we really don't have a good wag yet as to what that number is going to be.
Okay.
Hopefully this will help establish that. We'll see.
Unbelievable.
Make a motion that we approve staff recommendation as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept staff recommendation. Comments from the audience? Catherine, please call the roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Bettman.
Yes. Item 14A, do we have to pay the bills this month?
You have to pay the bills.
Okay. Entertain a motion to pay the bills.
So
Sounds like we already got a so moved. Second. Mr.
Second.
Stewart is the second. Comments from the audience, pay the bills. Anybody want to make a contribution?
Yeah.
Kathy, call roll.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Ivy.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes, and we do have some board vacancies. Ms. Haley, please.
Sir, we have 2 alternate voting board members for the Code Enforcement Board, 2 alternate voting members for the Planning and Zoning Board, 3 regular members coming up for the Community Redevelopment Agency, and 1 regular member for the Historic Preservation Committee. These applications are on our line. Anybody can submit one and bring it to my office no later than September 13th. And following this meeting tonight, we will have our final enterprise fund budget workshop. That's all.
Any questions or comments from the audience? Before I adjourn, I have to say good evening to my mother. She sits and watches every single meeting. She's 96 years old. I love you, Mom. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Mom.
You were mighty quiet, right? I got your tongue in the
Keeping the fire.